Hey guys, welcome to another one of our Viratic music discussions that we've been doing.
Feels like forever since we recorded.
What has it been, like 2 weeks?
It's been a while.
Yeah.
But for you guys, it's only been a week. Today we're going to be talking about La Dispute, Rooms of the House. Before we get into that, Dave is going to do the plugs for all of our other shit.
Oh yeah. Alright, so Sunday nights, 10:30 EST at wjtb.njt.edu. Our weekly radio show that we do. He's eating pizza. It's called Bloody Beat Boops. We play all sorts of shit. Normally it's going to be some sort of electronic thing. If not, it'll be some indie cred thing. So, it's what we're into. It's where we feel like playing that week. And it's not real radio, so we say things like fucking shit and whatnot. So,
Yeah, there's no real domain. I totally made you do the plugs because I want to take a bite of pizza.
of course. We have an Instagram.
We do.
You should like that. And
It's probably old news by now.
we have a Facebook too. I know I say the Facebook pretty much every. It's always in the description.
But now there's going to be an Instagram in the description.
Yes. So you should follow those because the Instagram is just general shenanigans, indie cred stuff, while the Facebook's like info and updates. And if I feel like posting some stupid shit,
We do it there.
I'll do it there. I also plug the radio show like a billion fucking times on Sundays when it's about to happen. So
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. Rooms of the House. So
Yeah.
we actually didn't listen to this album right away. It took us a while.
No, it took. I remember. Yeah, I remember coming across it around the time when it was coming out, and I also remember that I was super busy at the time, so I never got around to it. It was one of those things like, oh yeah, I'll listen to it later. Oh yeah, I'll listen to it later. I mean, I really liked La Dispute at the time. It's just I had no time to do like anything. So I was like, all right, I'll listen to this later when I have time, and just completely forgot about it. And I think sometime in, what was it, January or December, where I just kind of,
It would have been late December, early January.
yeah, sometime around the New Year. I think it was January, where I just kind of fell across it again, and I was like, oh my god, this happened.
No, the announcement of the La Dispute show,
Okay.
and we were like, oh yeah, didn't they come out with an album? And then you started listening to it, and you kept egging me on. You're
Yes, I was like,
you
dude,
have
it's
to listen
amazing.
to it.
It's
You have
great.
to listen to it.
Yeah.
But it came out March 18th of 2014.
Yeah.
So that's how long it took us to get around to this. Almost a full
Almost.
calendar year.
Almost a full goddamn year.
We're
And
sorry,
by
La
the time
Dispute.
by the time this video comes out too, it's gonna be like almost
A full
probably
year.
gonna be- Anyway, yeah, Will Yip produced it, and
He is the fucking man.
yeah,
Did,
basically,
the Census, he did.
yeah, he did a couple circuits. He did some Anthony Green stuff too.
Worked with Citizen.
Yeah,
He's worked with a bunch of bands that I enjoy. I couldn't possibly name all of them, and I'm not going to because I can't remember all of them right
exactly. But yeah, no, he's been really good at recording and producing a lot of bands, and whenever he's like done something with somebody, it's like it's always, you know, it's gonna be good
now.
because
Comes out.
he's not gonna let it be shitty.
His name means too much to him.
Yeah.
It was 11 tracks long. It was 41 minutes, 41 seconds. I think that's really cool. I also mentioned that because it's shorter than a lot of their other work. A lot of their other stuff was a lot longer, pushing 4 sides of vinyls, and this one was just a 1-2-sided vinyl. Speaking of vinyl, we don't have it yet, so sorry.
I ran out of money. I spent money on Thursday vinyls instead
We'll show those
because
off.
they did a 15th anniversary of their first album, so I bought it.
But either way, it's their third full length and the
Yeah.
first since 2011.
Yeah, that's when Wildlife came out. And that album, I was really into.
That album is what got me into them, but that I didn't listen to until 2013.
No, I showed it to you in 2012. I remember. I don't know.
Yeah,
if,
but
like,
I didn't.
You didn't
I didn't,
seriously get into.
I didn't
them,
seriously get into it until 2013, way after graduation.
Yeah, back in high school, he was supposed to come see them with me.
I was.
And-
Ray Osterman went.
Yeah, our buddy Ray came instead. But yeah, me, Brandon, and our friend Ray went and saw them in Philly. And yeah, I almost got tangled in his mic cord at one point when I went to stage dive. So that could have been bad.
That would have been real
It was
bad.
almost bad. I kicked my foot up when I jumped, and it it came off. I was like, all right, good, we're set.
I
Didn't ruin everything.
I still haven't had the pleasure of hearing Jonathan Dryer's voice live, but just hearing the recorded stuff too, the raw emotion that comes out. He can't sing. He doesn't know how.
He's not a great singer, but he makes up for it in just. I remember when I first listened to them, when our friend Brian, who's been on this show before, first showed them to me. He's like, "Yeah, take this band, you might like them." And it's one of the things where he just gives me like a gigabyte of bands and music, and I'm like, "All right, I'll sift through." And then I was listening to him, and I was talking about on Facebook or something. So I was messaging him like, "I don't know about this dude's voice," and then he started screaming. I'm like, "No, we're good." we're good.
Which is funny because on this album he doesn't scream so much.
He really doesn't. One of the things that I really noticed about this, like pretty much straight off the bat, was it's a lot less like singing and screaming kind of style. It's a lot of it's more like kind of spoken word or kind of poetry stuff.
Yeah, spoken word poetry.
Yeah, and
like
it's
that.
really interesting. Like Woman Reading and Objects in Space. Those are the two that really come to mind when I think about like it's just him kind of talking in beat, and it's just like
A simple drum beat in the background,
Yeah.
maybe a couple chords, and it flows so well. Like the songs individually, and they're broken up by some heavier pieces. You know, it comes out pretty heavy.
Yeah.
I couldn't possibly name the songs off of this album. They're like dates and cities and weird stuff. But there's actually a quote that we have here from the Alt Press review of this, which gave it 5 stars, by the way. So if that tells you anything,
it's deserving.
but
It's deserving. Of that.
what puts it over the top is how effortlessly, I can't speak. I'm sorry.
Effortlessly.
The album flows, and it's so true. And Dave is a stickler for how an album flows.
You gotta have that flow, man.
And
you gotta have that flow.
And this album basically made Dave cry tears of joy because of how well it flows.
Oh, I mean, I wouldn't say that because I'm dead inside, but yeah, no, I definitely was just like one of the reasons that I could keep listening to it so much, as often as I was that it kind of just went together so nicely, and even though it was kind of had some heavier pieces and some lighter pieces from song to song, the kind of cohesive themes and stories going through just really like kept me with it. And like there were so many callbacks to other songs. It was like, oh, that's that, and it got me excited.
Yeah.
About all like these little touches that he put in, and holy shit, does he use fucking repetition for effect?
Now Dave lives in a dorm, so he couldn't lock himself in his room. But whatever the equivalent of living in a dorm and locking yourself in a room is, he did that for probably a full 24-hour period, trying to figure out all of these callbacks, and we found 6 songs that are almost entirely related to each other.
I took notes. I was writing shit down. I was in studio, like at my fucking like workbench where my desktop is, and I'm just like, I was listening to it like on Spotify or like YouTube or whatever. I'm just like writing shit down. It's like, all right, he calls back to this song, so that means this is part of this story. And this
you
is part of
actually
this.
have the 6 songs on Spotify if you want to.
Yeah, the ones that I found had like the most
noticeable
noticeable threads. Like it's not these are the songs that are the only songs that are in this story, but Woman in the Mirror, Mayor in Splitsville. God damn.
Yeah.
We both can't say words today.
That's all right.
Stay Happy There, Woman Reading, Extraordinary Dinner Party, and Objects in Space. And I think after I compiled this, I realized First Reactions, When Falling Through the Ice, really is part of it as well. But I didn't put it in there.
But there is an argument for all 11 songs to be the same story. They're just different experiences of this, this fictional perspective that Dreyer has made up. I don't know why these artists do this. They come up with fictional worlds and fictional characters that they portray. But goddamn, does it make for some great music? We got this album, Aaron West.
Aaron West. And
Aaron West was another fictional perspective.
I forget who it is, but Dan always tells me this quote. My brother, there's this one like showrunner for this anime that he loves, who apparently said, "I don't understand this. What is it? I don't understand the illusion that people call happiness," or something like that. And it kind of like parallels this, where it's just like they make up these stories, or like they kind of base it off experience. Like, holy shit, this is really fucking depressing. Like, oh man, do you just want everyone to be sad?
Yeah,
but there's something also to be said about them, like getting shit like this off their chest. I know, at least with
a lot of artists in general just use music as an escape, and a lot of listeners in general use music as an escape. Just they're talented enough to give it to us. And if these guys, Dreyer especially, because I know he's the writer for most of, if not all of their songs, if this is what he needs to get away, I hope he's doing all right. But if he keeps giving me great music, I don't know what to do.
Just if we see him at the show, just give him a hug.
Exactly. These guys just need a
hug. I know, at least with Wildlife, most of the songs, I'm not sure if it was all of the songs, but most of the songs are based off actual things that happened in the town that he grew up in. And a lot of it's real fucked up. So it's not too what's the word for it? I guess it's not too outlandish that we could, think that maybe that this album drew parallels from life that he either dealt with, or someone close to him dealt with, or someone from his town, such as, the case of Wildlife. So,
right. I highly recommend this album to anyone who can stomach it, emotionally and lyrically. His voice is an acquired taste. I will not say that his voice is the prettiest, but I love the artists with voices like these, unrefined. They sing for that escape. They scream for that escape. This is definitely an emotionally driven album, and it's very, not saying that La Dispute's earlier work was immature, but it's very mature in the fact that it had one central path. It wasn't all over the place. It wasn't, like a teenager trying to figure out their life. It was like an adult sitting down and reflecting on their life. It was a different take for them in that sense. That being said, we have a couple favorite songs.
Of course.
I can't remember the full length of my...
Should I go first?
Can you read off the name of my favorite song? Because I can't remember the name of the favorite song. First Reactions After Falling Through the Ice?
Yeah, that's it.
I got it!
Yeah, there you go.
That's the first time I've ever done that.
I said it before. So that one's a good one. I think my favorite, because of the repetition used, is Child We Lost, 1963.
That's a very good one.
Oh my god, that fucking song. It's about a family dealing with a stillbirth. And I think it's written from the point of view of someone who's very young. And they have like a slightly older sister who I think understands a little bit, but like the person that's written in the point of view of doesn't understand what stillbirth means, and they don't understand like why everyone's so sad. And one of the things he keeps saying all throughout the song is, but they never said her name out loud around you. Like they never said the stillborn child's name that they planned on giving it. And he keeps saying that. They never said her name out loud around you. And then basically it's not quite the last line, but it gets to the point into the song where they talk about how their grandpa is hospitalized and eventually dies. And her grandma says, or his grandma, I forget if it's a boy or a girl, but they say
the person of interest.
Yeah, the point of view character, their grandma says it's okay because now somewhere he holds her, and she said a name I didn't recognize, and I was just like, oh fuck, oh fuck,
Dude,
it just
even
blew my mind.
Even just you
It just fucks.
explaining it, I just got chills.
It's like, and just that line always like, and they said a name I didn't recognize. That always like fucks with me. Like I just chills or goosebumps, whatever. It's a really powerful line.
Yeah, you pointed that out earlier today. And it didn't hit me. It took me a couple seconds to realize what you were explaining to me, but it's whoa.
Yeah, and I don't know. There's just something about woman reading that I just love. It's just like
it's the slow pace.
It's slow. It's calming, and it's just him just really like detail, like explaining just like his girlfriend or wife just relaxing and reading, and it's just really interesting because he's like talking about like trying to like write poetry about it or trying to like make some sort of sculpture or paint it, and he's like, so he's like really getting into like the details, and it's interesting because myself being interested in art and music and drawing and illustration and stuff like that, it's just like it's kind of cool because you don't really think about it much, like you just kind of do it, but he's just kind of explaining his process, and it's kind of interesting to just have someone kind of explain their muse or explain their kind of inspired spark. So
yeah, a positive one too. The song doesn't feel negative either. We always get negative sides and hurtful things, especially with the music we listen to.
It does end kind of on a sadder note.
It does, but it wouldn't be Loudest Beat without it.
It wouldn't.
My favorite song.
Why do we discuss so many sad things?
Because we're dead inside.
Oh, okay.
But my favorite song, First Reactions After Falling Through the Ice, has nothing to do with the fact that I play hockey and falling through a pond is actually one of my biggest fears. But him repeating, "I will never trust ice, I will never trust anything" at the end of the song is just, it's so powerful to me. He's talking about how, maybe I should have done this, maybe I should have done that, and they're menial things. They don't mean much. It's, maybe I should have or shouldn't have cut my hair. I should have cut my hair. I can't remember right now. Should have let my beard
it's like, will I grow my hair? Will I cut my hair short? Trust me, I will. Will I grow my beard out long? Trust me, I will.
And it's like, almost a desperate act. People who are in these grave accidents or near-death experiences always have this conversation with God, if they are religious, that, if you get me through this, I will X or whatever, fill in the blank with whatever empty promise you make at that point. But that's what it feels like. It feels like him, I will do these things. I'll take better care of myself. Just please get me out of this frozen lake.
I don't really see him as like a religious person.
No,
it's more of him. It's more of him like making promises to himself. Like,
it's to himself.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure I would do the same thing in his shoes. I'm not
saying I wouldn't. It's like you make these.
Well, I'm saying like I would like kind of make promises to myself rather than make promises to God.
No, It's whatever they feel that they would make promises to, what would fulfill them, and for some people it's themselves. For some people it's their parents, their relatives, their pets, and for some people it's a higher power as they understand it. Whatever that may be. But
I'm not an atheist. I'm just a deist.
I don't know what I am at this point in my life. But as they understand this thing that they are to make promises to, but at the end saying, "I will never trust ice. I will never trust anything." It is very painful to not trust anything and being afraid to trust someone, give your all to someone, whether it be falling in love or losing someone that you love. It definitely belongs at the beginning of the album where it is placed, because it leads to a lot of other things.
Yeah.
It leads to Objects in Space, which Dave and I both, when we heard it, just sat back and probably had a
We just kept playing it. We were just like,
fuck.
it was just like one of those. You have anything else to say, or? I'm really out of shit to say.
I'm out of shit to say too. Check this out. Don't think it's quite as sad as Aaron West and the Roaring Twenties. We don't have each other,
It's got some feels.
but still bring a box of tissues. If you still have some left over from Aaron West, use those.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have any left over from Aaron West.
Anyway, though, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe and all that stuff.
Follow us on Instagram.
All this really means a lot to us. Like, we thought this was going nowhere, and it's going better than we thought we would. So, thank you.